3/4, 1 inch, inch and a half. What do those sizes mean? Let's figure that out. Now, the overall diameter of the collar is greater, it's wider than the measurement given to the width of the webbing. For example, the 3/4 inch wide collar is actually over an inch wide. The 1 inch wide collar is closer to an inch and a half. The inch and a half wide collar is actually almost 2 inches wide.
For example, a 1 inch wide collar refers to the width of the webbing. The overall width of the collar is made wider by the leather.
Sounds bigger.
Now that you know what the diameter means, why would you choose one size over the other? Well, obviously the small one would be for smaller dogs, sub 25 pounds. I say that mainly because that's all I really rate that buckle for. It's a good buckle, but larger dogs, I really trust the 1 inch wide buckle far more. However, on a small dog, nothing beats the 3/4 inch wide collar in flexibility as well as lightness, as in the ability to keep it up high on the neck. For a training collar or just for a daily collar, a small dog doesn't want a big old anchor around its neck. At the opposite end, we have got an 1.5 inch wide collar. It's a great collar for a larger breed dog, just because size-wise it looks more appropriate. The downside is it's going to be heavier. On a training collar, it's going to want to slide down the neck. And you don't want a training collar that low. You want to keep it up high and tight, where a training collar belongs. Although for a flat collar, that's just fine for it to slip down and be nice and low. If you've got a dog with a shorter neck, you got to make sure it doesn't act like a neck brace.
Okay, go ahead and get this thing off my neck.
You want to make sure the dog has enough room to move its head, or when it lays down to sleep, you don't want it to cut off circulation. You work just fine with an 1.5 inch wide collar. You also work with this 1 inch wide collar just fine for a flat. For a prong collar, you like the 1 inch wide. The 1 inch wide is our most versatile collars for most scenarios. It's lighter than the wider collars, obviously, but it's still flexible. All of these are single leather collars, which are going to be the most flexible and lightest. All of these can also be made into a double leather collar. By adding a second layer of leather, it can make it heavier and stiffer, but it's really hard to argue with that look that you get from a double leather collar. It's absolutely amazing, and some dogs can pull it off phenomenal. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to contact us, and remember, be the alpha of your own healthy pack. What does the diameter, I'm creating new words. Does that have to do with the overall weight? Not weight, width. On a big dog, sometimes something.
Do something! Do something! Do something!
Something. Okay, yeah, I would be ready to leave too if I was talking like this.